Can I take your order? What's good with y'all, man? It's your boy Leek, you feel me? Coming at y'all with another reaction video, man. Now look, 7 p.m. Central Time, daily uploads, guys. You already know what time it is. If you're not here on time, I'll teach you a valuable lesson. And it's just that simple, so you better be here on time. But, I appreciate the support nonetheless. Guys, this video is called The Most Painful Cave Dives Ever. Now, I don't know who sent me this video. I feel like this is a different type of video. You know, we like to be educational sometimes. You know, learn new stuff. You know, but I'm already doing too much blabbering. I got my Burger King headset, as you can see. Let's get the video cooking, man. you feel me? Because it's like a Burger King like headset. So at Burger King they cook, and so that's why I said, like, since it's a Burger King headset, like, let's get the video cooking. You get it? Hope you guys
We're diving
that.
into caves where the people who went into them died horribly. This first one is actually
he got a booty chin.
And it's the Allisons Cave tragedy.
Allisons Cave.
Only a few hours from the cave is the University of Florida in Gainesville. And 10 students went up to the cave on February 12th, 2011. Because hey, who needs a beer and partying in a college town in Gainesville when you could just go sit in a rock tube? I seriously don't get people. The group consisted of 5 boys and 5 girls. 2 of which were Grant Lockenbach, who was 20, and Michael Peary, who was 18 years old, who would never come out of the cave again.
Oh,
another fun fact you should probably know about this cave, it's considered the deepest cave in the US. With the pit so deep, they call it the Fantastic Pit, and it's almost 600 feet deep. Kinda like your girlfriend after she hangs out with the guy she told you not to worry about. Sorry, boxheads, someone had to tell you. Anyways, the group parks the car at the base of the mountain, and
oh, you trying to tell me my girl is doing something else and not keeping it real with a nigga? You trying to tell me that? Hey, man.
By the way, Allisons Cave is located in Georgia, USA, and it is over 12 miles long. You could absolutely never convince me to get into one of these things after I researched this goddamn story. They're probably thinking to themselves, let's set our iPhone 4s down and really live in the moment. Hashtag live, laugh, love. Hashtag who needs emergency equipment. Hashtag subscribe to Boxhead. They didn't say that. And went up to the mountain towards the cave with what my mother would say is nothing on. It's February in the Appalachian Mountains. It's pretty damn cold. The group of 10 got to the cave entrance and looked at each other with suspense and thought what every college kid thinks when they're about to enter a really deep hole. Man, I should have brought some protection. But they went in without it anyways. The cave, I mean. The 10 college kids made their way deeper into the cave with every step sipping their little water. And someone totally said, guys, isn't it kind of nice we don't have our phones? Bro, I know, like, I feel like so zen right now. Bro, you dropped the bag. Bro, the girls are watching. I'll get it. Dude, that's a giant pit, like, what are you even doing? It's for the Vine, bruh. I can already see the comments. Actually, this was 2011, and Vine was only released in 2013. Yeah, so the bag fell into a pit called the warm-up pit, which was around 125 feet deep. There was a large, freezing waterfall that would soon make things very difficult.
What the?
After the bag had fallen, the group wanted to turn back, probably thinking, let's go get some beers, this is stupid. But our guy Grant insisted on going down to get it so that they could, you know, continue. But as he descended deeper and deeper, he started to shiver as he got closer to the giant waterfall. The water is freezing. Okay, fine. Not literally, but the water in that cave only ranges between 32 and 55 degrees Fahrenheit, which is pretty cold. As his body inched down the rope, he found himself getting closer and closer to the waterfall, slowly moving down. He tried to avoid the cold water by swinging away, but that caused him to get tangled in his own ropes. And he just hung there, slowly moving down into the water. As the freezing water rushed over him, Grant screamed for help. And Michael, a hero friend, got his harness on. And down he went after him. The harness zipped Michael down, and as he got closer, he tried to help Grant get free of the water. Yank, pull, and right there, ladies and boxheads, is where everything got even worse. The rope twisted around Michael too. See, remember, they're on the same rope. The roaring water dragged at the rope, pulling it tighter and made both of them even more tangled. And shortly after Michael got down there, it dragged him too under the water. And guys, by this point, Grant was barely conscious. Alright, so once Michael started freaking out, a few friends above decided, let's call for some help, and rushed down the mountain to where they parked their cars.
911, what's your emergency?
My friends are stuck in the goddamn cave. Please send help. The authorities were called at 2:19 p.m. and they rushed over to the scene to hopefully help Grant and Michael. Move. The rescuers climbed down the cave walls and made their way to the scene where both Grant and Michael were tangled. They attached pulleys and went down to rescue them, praying it wasn't too late. But at 3:30, when the rescue team recovered their cold, stiff, pulseless bodies, they had already known that they had both died from hypothermia. The cave had echoes of the crying friends mourning the loss of the two boys. Shortly after the tragic loss, the University of Florida held a candlelight vigil for the loss of the students. By the way, they were both academic scholars and well loved among their friends. The families mourned the loss of their boys, and the others in the cave would hold that memory forever. Now, this next guy was the same age.
Bro, hey, RIP to those guys, you know? Just trying to, you know, do something extraordinary with the hubs, you know, something different instead of just hitting the bars and partying. They wanted to, you know, go on a little excursion. I don't even know if that's the word for it. It just slipped out. Some type of little, you know, little trip and end up dying, bro. Shout out to the homie that tried to go save him. I don't even know what you could have did in that situation. Like, could they have everybody fucking get the rope and, like, try to pull it up all together? Or what? Wouldn't want to be at the front of that part, though. I ain't gonna lie. Because you slip and then the rope start pulling you and then you get knocked in. No way. That's crazy, though.
Is the last two, and he too would be stuck in a cave, but this time his body would never leave.
No.
This is the tragedy of Neil Moss. Neil Moss was an undergraduate student at Balliol, Oxford, which means he was a pretty smarty pants, really thinking outside the box, huh? Which means, of course, we love him. It's March 22nd, 1959, and 8 people make their way into Peak Caverns in Derbyshire. God, the British really know how to make things sound like a full of goddamn crumpets, don't they? Anyways, there was this newly discovered vertical shaft that no one had been down before. And that shaft looked pretty goddamn big. That's what she said. God.
Yeah, about me, yeah.
The group of 8 people were cavers from the... Let me check my notes here. The British Speleological Association. Sure, bro. You're climbing into caves, yet you name it as if you guys are gonna fill out that shit on some royal tax form. Like, hello? So yeah, they found this new shaft and it was guessed that the depth of the shaft would be around like 40 feet, but they lowered to around 75 feet just to be sure. Moss kicked the ladder down the hole. The ladder dropped down and disappeared into the depths below. Oh, wetty boys, time to make some history, he probably said as he dropped in. One step at a time, Moss lowered himself into the vertical passage. There was a boulder that seemed to be blocking the way, and he tried to kick it out of the way, but then the worst possible thing happened. His body became trapped in a space just 18 inches wide.
Dog. There's no way. There's no way. First off, bro, why do y'all do the cave stuff? Bro, I saw a dude, he was laying in the cave, bro. Cave this big. Body can barely fit. Damn, I'm fucking up my words. Barely fit, and he just want to sit in. He want to try to squeeze through there. Why? You try to kick the rock out the way, the rock land on your body, now you cooked. Come on, dog.
I'm stuck, he probably yelled. The group quickly tried to help him. They lowered ropes down. He would wrap them around himself and they would pull. They tried this over and over again, and each time the ropes would either tear or he wouldn't even move at all. And not to mention, well, I mean, this is the case for a lot of these stories we cover, but air quickly became a problem. See, this was a shaft that was about 40 feet vertical, and Neil's body made a better door than a window in regards to airflow. So the air down there was getting thin, or worse, polluted, with dust and other shit that goes down a shaft. As Neil was breathing in this air, he started becoming delirious and not at all aware of the danger he was in. Hey, you guys go out to eat. I'm fine here, he called. Like, imagine being 40 feet down in a rock tube and telling your only hope of rescue, go, have some brewskis while you're just sitting there dying. Like, guys, this is clearly carbon monoxide poisoning. Oh, you don't know what that is, huh? Well, clearly you didn't watch my other videos because, fine, I'll forgive you. It's basically when your brain isn't getting enough oxygen and you start acting like a goddamn fool. So yes, Neil has seen better days. Let's just call rescue. Breathe and get your tea out your ass. It's 1959 and the iPhone hasn't even been invented yet. We can't use the goddamn telly. Alright. So someone had to find the old telly and get someone to get this sorry son of a gun out of a goddamn rock hole. Wee woo, wee woo, wee woo. The ambulances and a bunch of volunteers rushed over to get this man out of the hole. They have tanks of oxygen, ropes, and a load of presumably some tea. But anyone who was lowering themselves into this cave quickly came back up because of the foul air. Okay, so it's now early in the morning on day 2, and the bad air drove back up more and more attempts to get him out. And the bad air was getting seriously bad. I mean, there were so many attempts to try and get him, but they seriously just kept coming back up.
Bro.
They tried over and over again to try to get this oxygen into the hole, but it never seemed to be enough. Of those who tried, there was a very brave girl at 18 years old. Her name was June Bailey, who was small enough to get to him, but quickly realized that she was becoming hypoxic by, going lower. So by now, he's been in this goddamn hole stuck for over 24 hours. But everyone that was trying to help felt like they couldn't give up. His father was weeping at the cave entrance, never did enter the cave, but seriously, he couldn't bear to see his son in that state. His breathing could still be heard. They knew he was still down there alive, but then the rain came down harder and harder. All personnel for your safety until the rain stops to stand down. That was the final order. The rain might have flooded the cavern and caused even more problems. The group retreated and they waited. When the rain finally stopped, the group made their way back to the cave and just listened. Just nothing. Pure silence. At that very instance, the doctors determined a time of death of around 3 a.m. on Tuesday, March 24th. The doctors said that it was their first time giving a time of death without actually seeing the patient. Eric Moss, his father, broke down in tears, and he actually requested that they stop the rescue so that no more lives were lost in this cave. They decided later to seal the shaft, trapping his body there forever. And hold on, they renamed it from the stalagmite chamber in Peak Caverns to the Moss chamber in his honor. Wow. And guys, look, I saved the most painful cave death for last. Everyone meet Floyd Collins, who was born in 1887. Floyd wasn't just content with around underground for fun. No, he had bigger plans. Okay, caving was kind of like the NFT of Kentucky back then. Basically, he wanted to find a cave so impressive, so spectacular that people would actually pay to walk through it. Yeah, this was a time when charging people to see holes in the ground was a viable business plan. Floyd's great idea was Sand Cave, a part of the Mammoth Cave system in Kentucky, which, by the way, was one of the largest cave systems in the whole goddamn world. Mammoth Cave was already a big deal, tourists loved it, but Floyd, being the ambitious little guy that he was, thought that Sand Cave would be his big breakthrough. No, dude, seriously, this guy died trying to be a 1920s YouTuber. This shit is absolutely wild. So it's January 30th, 1925, and Floyd decides, let me head to the Sand Cave on a solo mission. Just him, a lantern, and his wild dreams of fame and fortune. Buddy, you're not box-head, little man. Anyways, he squeezes through a few tight passages, inch by inch, because apparently that was a definition of a good time back then. Now, when I say tight, nope. Nope. I am not going to say it. I'm putting my foot down. The jokes in this video have gone too goddamn far. We're talking spaces where you can't even turn your head without scraping it on the goddamn walls. If you're even slightly claustrophobic, this would be your worst nightmare, and I recommend you click off the video. Bro, the booty chin killing me, bro. Now, I can't click off the video because obviously it's my video, but miss me with that bullshit. But not for Floyd. Nah, this guy's a committed man. He's making his way deeper and deeper into this cave. He finally finds what looks like a promising spot, and of course Floyd, being the adventurer he was, figures, what's the worst that can happen, guys? And starts lowering himself. One step at a time, Floyd shimmies his way down this 55-foot deep vertical shaft. And probably thinking to himself while he's going down, this is it. I'm about to be rich. Just when Floyd's about halfway down, out of nowhere, a 26-pound rock comes loose from the ceiling. Now, it doesn't sound like that big of a deal, right? 26-pound rock, Boy, I'm bench pressing that. You
right.
feel me?
Right.
Anyways, this rock decides it's going to sit itself right on top of Floyd's left leg, pinning him against the narrow cave wall. Floyd's not just stuck. This man is super duper stuck. And before you think, you stupid boxhead, he could have just pushed the rock off. Let me stop you right there, mister. Remember, this passage is so tight that Floyd could barely move his arms, let alone reposition himself. So he wasn't just trapped, he was goddamn... Woo, profanity boy. YouTube, I'm sorry. But he's already deep underground and his family knew that he'd gone caving, but it wasn't until hours later that his brother, Homer Collins, realized that something might have been off. Homer goes to go check on Floyd and finds that Floyd is in the worst possible position. Floyd was wedged in there like a goddamn human cork in a wine bottle. They tried ropes, pulleys, brute strength, but each time the ropes would break or Floyd wouldn't even budge an inch.
Oh
like, guys,
gosh.
Imagine the frustration of trying to pull a grown man out of a narrow hole in the ground using nothing but ropes. It's like trying to pull a couch up a goddamn spiral staircase, buddy. It's not happening. So, our guy Homer calls for help. And of course, word gets out, and in 1925, when word gets out, it really got out. Like, Floyd was the Hawk-Tuah girl of his time. And before you knew it, every journalist and their grandmother is flocking to Butt, Kentucky to cover this tragedy. By February 1st, Floyd being stuck in the hole was national news. Reporters were showing up with cameras, notepads, and a disturbing level of enthusiasm for a man trapped underground who might die. Eventually, thousands of hats were gathered around the cave to watch what exactly, I don't know. The dude stuck in a goddamn hole, like, what are they looking at? Guys, I'm being so serious about this. Vendors would set up food stands, locals sold souvenirs, and tourists treated the whole thing like some goddamn twisted carnival. Meanwhile, Floyd, yeah, he was still stuck in the hole. By now, professional rescue teams had arrived, armed with all kinds of gear. Motorized winches, oxygen tanks, and enough rope to make a Boy Scout goddamn proud. Problem was, the cave wasn't cooperating. I mean, it's a rock hole. I don't know what they wanted from it. Every time they tried to pull Floyd out, more dirt and more rocks would just collapse onto him, making the situation even worse and more painful. The passage was just too tight, too unstable. Meanwhile, Floyd's condition was getting worse and worse. He was cold, exhausted, and started losing hope. They tried sending Floyd food and water through tubes, along with, of all things, whiskey. Yeah, guys, I mean, because you're trapped underground with no way out, I mean, you might as well have a goddamn drink, right? Despite their best efforts, though, nothing seemed to work. And Floyd was hanging on by a goddamn thread. The lack of oxygen was starting to become a problem, as it, tends to be for humans. He was becoming delirious, and at one point, he supposedly called up to the rescuers saying that he was ready to go to heaven. Yikes. As Floyd's condition deteriorated, the rescuers decided to change their tactics. Instead of trying to pull him straight out, they came up with this new idea. Dig a tunnel into the side of the cave and reach him that way. Yeah, it sounded brilliant on paper, but in reality, not so much. The cave was way too unstable, and every time they dug, more debris would fall, and days turned into weeks.
Bro, but what about this area that's right here above me, bro? That ain't that the way he came? Y'all couldn't come and then, like a drill or something into the rock? Well, it's the fucking 1890 some shit, 1925. Yeah, I don't even know if they had shit like that. They must have had basic shovels. I don't know what they had back then. But that's crazy work, bro.
And it became more and more clear that they were racing against time. But they kept digging. They dug through the rock, the mud, and anything else in their way, hoping that somehow they could reach Floyd before it was too late. Fast forward to February 16th, and it has nearly been 14 days since Floyd first got stuck. The rescue team had finally broken through their tunnel, but guys, it was too late. Floyd had died from exposure, starvation, and hypoxia. Or in simpler terms, he was stuck in a fucking hole for 2 weeks. He was found in the same exact spot he'd been since day one, trapped beneath that 26-pound rock deep underground. When the rescue team finally reached him, there was nothing left to do but declare him dead. Now,
why? Why are y'all, bro? I don't know what's up with these extremists. Is that what you would call them? Bro, why are y'all climbing buildings with no gear and fucking going through holes and recording and, bro, cave diving? Bro, just relax. Relax, bro. You gotta find some type of high that doesn't revolve fucking putting your life in danger, bro. Come on, man. Come on. Cause I've been doing this forever. All it does is take one slip up. You can be right. for 100 days. For 100 days. But then that time you wrong can ruin your life. Or you can be wrong for 100 days, and that one day you right, it changes your life. That's just how life works. Why are you climbing through the fucking holes, buddy? Come on, dog.
The official time of death was estimated to be around 3 a.m. on February 13th, but no one really knows for sure. And here's where things take a even wilder turn. Oh, did you think we were done? After Floyd's death, the rescuers had to make a tough call. They decided to leave his body in the cave because they couldn't risk any more lives trying to pull him out. So they sealed up the passage, leaving him in the place that he had hoped would bring him so much fame and fortune. Oh, wait. Did you think everyone listened to the rules? No. Months later, a team including Floyd's brother Homer finally managed to retrieve Floyd's body. They were able to bury him, and you would think that all is well. Well, of course, until they found out that the property was actually sold to a dentist named Dr. Harry Thomas, who, hold on, dug up the body and put the body back into the cave on display. They found out that the property was actually sold to a dentist named Dr. Harry Thomas, who, hold on, dug up the body and put the body back into the cave on display in a goddamn glass coffin.
Glass coffin.
His body was then stolen. Yes, stolen from the coffin and then yeeted into some bushes. His body was found with his left leg missing. And then his body was put into another coffin back inside the cave until his family pleaded and pleaded with the National Park Service to, you know, not have this man's body be a goddamn tourist attraction. Fine, they said, and you'll be happy to know that Floyd is no longer in the cave. All right, guys, look. Floyd Collins suffered one of the most painful cave deaths ever. Well, actually, I don't know, because some of the deaths in this cave deaths video may have been more painful. Okay, wait. But now when I think about it, what's more painful, deaths in the cave or deaths in the ocean? I don't know. You might have to watch this video right here where I talk about the most painful deaths in the ocean, and you have to let me know which is more painful.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. We might have to watch one of those because the ocean is a scary place, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, man. You know, a little educational, you know, reacts. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And what I'm gonna do, catch you in the next video. Bow.